I'm the taxman here on AM560 The Answer. Joined here with Deborah Schreiner and Jim Leahy. And let's go to the next segment.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where Attorney Steven Leahy gives us his infinite wisdom on all things taxes.
Are you going to ask the question, or should I answer the question?
I think that you should ask the question.
I will ask the question. Here's the question I got this week. Attorney Leahy, can you help me file in a bankruptcy case? And the answer is, of course I can help you file bankruptcy in a bankruptcy case. Well, that's part of the thing. That's kind of what led me into helping people with taxes. First, I started helping people with bankruptcy. Then I started helping people with foreclosures. And then that led me into modifications, and that led me into helping people with the IRS some years ago. It's many years ago now that I've been helping people with the IRS. So, and one of the remedies to helping people with IRS problems is bankruptcy. So, if you're trying to solve an IRS problem and you go to this outfit, and I'm not going to mention a lot of these outfits. I had a guy hired me yesterday. He hired an outfit from California. And he paid them over $5,500, and they did nothing for him. For 2 years, they have done nothing for him. And so this happens. But anyway, you go to these outfits, they're not attorneys. So if you have 6 things you can do, one of them is do nothing, so you don't want to do that. So there's only 5 things you can do. The other one's pay them. And a lot of times if you're coming to see me, you can't pay them. So now there's down to 4 things you can do. If one of those things is bankruptcy, and the people that you're talking to can't file bankruptcy for you, well, now you're down to 3. That's 25% of all your options are out the window. And oftentimes, if that's the best way for you to get out of your IRS problem or some other problem, then they can't even offer you that, and they won't offer you that. So you won't even have your best option available to you. They won't even present it to you as an option because they can't help you with that. But again, that's what we're talking about, tax stuff. But outside of taxes, I help people who file bankruptcy a lot, even if they don't have tax problems. Now, again, granted, most of the bankruptcies I file involve some sort of taxes because those are the people I help the most.
Remember, there's different bankruptcies too. I'm not saying for you, but for people out there, there's different bankruptcies. There's different options you can do as well. And exploring that with Attorney Steven Leahy is a great way of that's why you call a professional. Exactly. That's why you.
So if you're thinking of filing bankruptcy, if you know someone who was, for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be taxes. It could be just because I have a lot of credit card debt, or somebody's suing me. This happens a lot. Then they get a judgment against me. When someone starts coming after your wages or your bank account, that's when you have to take some action, because you need to take some legal action to protect yourself. I always tell people there's two types of obligations in this world, at least 2. You have legal obligations and moral obligations. I always point out that Abraham Lincoln filed a bankruptcy some years ago. Honest Abe filed bankruptcy, okay, because he understood that there's these two obligations. He had to protect himself from the legal obligations, because if you don't do that, you're not going to ever recover. He felt that he had a moral obligation to pay people back, but bankruptcy gave him the time and the freedom to start making money back, and then he paid everybody back. It took him some years, but he did it. It's because he felt he had this moral obligation to pay people.
So you're saying if Abraham Lincoln could do it, you can do it?
I'm saying that your moral obligations shouldn't stand in the way of you protecting you and your family through the legal means. That's what I'm saying. Because a lot of people say, I don't believe bankruptcy is ever going to be right for me because I feel a moral obligation.
How many times do you see that when people come in?
I hear it a lot. And again, that's when I have to explain to them that sometimes the best way to fulfill your moral obligations, which is paying people back, those that you feel a moral obligation to do this, is to protect yourself from these legal ramifications. And the legal ramifications is they're going to start taking your wages, and that's going to affect your family, and you can't let that happen. You got to always protect your family first, and that's my opinion. And again, so if you're thinking about, hey, maybe bankruptcy is the right thing for me to do, I have a lot of credit card debt, I have some judgments against me, I have a lot of health issues and a lot of bills, because these are the reasons that people file bankruptcy. Another big reason why people file bankruptcy: divorce. So you're used to a 2-income household. You have built the household based on 2 incomes. You split. Now you're trying to maintain a two income household with 1 income. makes it almost impossible to do. And so divorce is often a leading factor to why people file bankruptcy. Again, divorce, health problems. A very large percentage of people who have health issues, who file bankruptcy, have health issues and a lot of health bills. And so this is one way to try to recover from that, because that's something beyond your control. And again, if they go out and they get judgments against you, they start attacking your wages, you're not going to be able to function. So you got to protect yourself from these legal problems through legal means. This is legal. Bankruptcy is a legal remedy to some legal problems. Anyway, I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, go on Facebook, go on YouTube, call Open Tax Resolution. I'll give you that phone number in a little bit, too. And ask your question so that you can get it answered. Let's get this problem solved. What is the one thing that we talk about on the show? The theme: address your problem early. That way it doesn't get worse. Address it now. Let us take care of it. That is what Open Tax Resolution is there to do.
Right on.
312.
Don't give your number.
312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub. They'll fight the IRS. I'm all thrown off now. It's going to be your hub. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed that segment. If you want to watch it again, go on YouTube or go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com. And stay tuned. So we wrap the show up on here on AM560 The Answer.